Hey, Facebook.
Hey, Facebook.
It's Ann and Bill. Thursday tea time. We missed last week. We were hoping to try to get that done, but it just wasn't in the cards. The time change, it was just too hard to kind of get it right. And we were a little preoccupied with some good stuff. But we're going to talk about our trip on this time. So let's start with as far as putting the trip together. Pretty easy trip. Long flights. The air is probably half the cost of the trip, a little less than half, but pretty easy. Um, did have to kind of decide if we wanted to do an overnight in Papete or just go in same day and get on the plane. So we do things the way our clients do things. So we needed to try something we wouldn't normally do, which is fly day of. We landed at what 4 a.m. and couldn't get on the ship till 11. So we experienced that. It wasn't as bad as I thought. What do you
No,
think?
it was kind of nice. We did hang out at the airport for a while because everything else was closed. But it was nice being able to relax a little bit, walk around, get because it was a flight. It was a long night flight.
And we did have a good flight, so we did
Yes.
get to sleep on the flight pretty
Yes.
good. So you take a risk of not being able to sleep on that flight, then I definitely wouldn't do it because that was a long wait. And there's the Tahiti Papete airport is really small.
Yes.
It only had a few gates, two terminals, but very small. It had a domestic terminal and an international terminal. But
It was one of those that you walked up the stairs to get on the big plane. But it was a big plane, but
yeah,
you didn't, you just had to walk out there.
yeah. There's no ramp.
There's no
There
ramp.
was walking stairs and
Yep.
down the old
Yeah.
steps coming off the plane and
Yep.
across the walkway.
It was nice.
But it was good. I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't a bad thing. But I think if I was going to do it again, I would spend a day at the Intercontinental. We got to go and visit that,
Or the Hilton.
or the Hilton, which was
Either or.
very close. I think the Intercontinental would be a little better. It's a little more expensive, but the water in that area right there in front of it, that's where people went. So it might be a good place to go. But either one, Hilton's probably a little more convenient, a little more cost effective, and you are just going there to kind of rest.
Yes.
So,
And then you can show up closer to 11 to get on the ship because it
right,
doesn't sail until 7 at night. So you have time like to enjoy the day. If you got in at 4 and stayed the night, I mean, you have a day there to enjoy it, that area.
right. You wouldn't
And then
have to
get up
take
and get on the ship. And
you wouldn't
a
have
good
to
time.
take the red eye like
Yeah.
we did. You could plan that a little bit
Yeah.
different. But either way, it worked.
It
We
did.
got on our ship. We'll talk about the ship a little bit first, and then we'll talk about some of the destinations in the South Pacific in general. So we say we went on a Tahiti trip. We really shouldn't be saying that because that's just one stop along the way
Right.
of the South Pacific um, French Polynesian triangle that we actually visited. We've been saying Tahiti the whole time.
Yeah.
And we found out on this trip that that's probably not the way you should refer to this trip that we went on. But let's talk about the ship, the Silver Whisper. 2002 or 2005, I think, is when it was built. It's been refurbished a couple times. So it was in good shape. Um, I thought the crew was pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
Pleasant.
compared to the last time we were on Silver Seas, it was pretty close.
Do you think it was because it was our first experience and it was like, wow, and then this one was like, now we can compare it to it? You know what I mean?
Well, it was
You know?
9 years ago, so the
Yes.
ship was much newer.
Yeah.
There was a lot of buzz about the ship
ship,
when we were on it.
Yeah.
So there's probably a more experienced staff on that ship at that time. So I think there was subtle
Difference.
differences.
Yeah.
But it's Silver Seas,
And it
so
was-
they're at a
yeah.
very high standard. So when you say they were a little better the last time, it's still better than half the ships out there. So it was really cool. We had a, a standard balcony, which they call a deluxe suite. Their suites are a little bigger, a little nicer. The amenities are certainly a little better. You have choices
You
between pillows and amenities and all that kind
and
of
you
stuff.
get a butler.
You get a butler, and this guy that we had, he offered to press our clothes and
Yep.
shine our shoes,
He
and
built.
pack and unpack
Yep.
suitcases. That's not something we're used to. So I did let him shine my shoes because they got a little bit scuffed up.
Hey,
and
why not?
he offered.
They look
I
nice.
said sure. So we enjoyed that. The food on the ship,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, on some of the restaurants, you needed a reservation.
Yes.
I think if it were my recommendation is reserve them all.
At least go once.
And try them all out.
Yes.
There's only one La Dame that we didn't go to.
Right.
There, I believe there's a service charge for that, but
Yes.
that's not why we didn't go to it. We didn't
couldn't
go
get
to it
into it.
because it was already booked by the time we looked. We just procrastinated a little bit and didn't have an opportunity to decide if we were going to go there. People said it was really, really good,
Mhm.
but it's a full 8-course meal. Takes about 2.5 hours, 3 hours for that meal. So, I mean,
Where
you're
else
on
do you-
vacation, so you don't need to be rushing through anyway.
Right.
So I don't think that's a problem. I think it's actually kind of nice to. It's the only area where you do need a suit,
Yes.
a sports jacket. The rest of it, you can wear one or not wear one. Some people were, most people were not. But they are pretty. They do want you to. You can't go in the dining areas in shorts in the evening. Anything after 6, you need slacks and regular shirts. And they were pretty good about holding to that dress code. Some people don't like it. Some people will say, why? But I think it gives an overall. I mean, you're in this glamorous ship and
Right.
eating really nice meals.
Why
It's
not?
okay to get, a little less casual. And they don't like jeans after 6 either.
Yeah.
And flip flops and that kind of stuff. So, clothes, shoes. I wear my comfy shoes, my comfy pants, and similar shirts to this. It wasn't a problem. And I also got dressed up for our nicer meals, just because I felt like I wanted to.
Well, we brought
But
it. Yeah.
that's something you need to know about Silver Seas, and a lot of the luxury brands are going to be the same. Shorts just aren't
Right.
going to get it for the evening meal.
So you were talking about food. They had the buffet was very nice. It was a different type. It was like in a restaurant. Yeah. But what did you think of the barbecues that we went to?
So on a couple of the islands, they had like the regular island at what's the name of that island? Rani. I know I'm getting that wrong,
I don't know.
and I can't think of it. It's like their hub, the main portion of the French Polynesians, the center of it all. And then today's world, Papeete and Tahiti and Bora Bora have become more popular. But for them, Raiatea, is that right? Raiatea. I know I'm saying not Raiatea. It's Raiatea. We had a barbecue, so they had the main island where everyone kind of does all their excursions and stuff, and then they had another private little island that nobody but us was on, and we went over there and had a whole lunch set up on that island.
That was a lunch, yes.
And then we went to
And it was their traditional food.
yeah.
You know, like the raw tuna was made into a salad with coconut milk and lime
Mhm.
juice and salt. They salted out and
Yeah.
cleaned it out first, and then they put in the slaw in it, like the cabbage and all that.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, and then they had the rice and they had chicken and a lot of fruit, a lot of pineapple. The pineapple and bananas were
They
like
had
awesome.
lobster and caviar.
Every barbecue there was lobster. Not
So-
that one.
so-
It was the other barbecue that we had lobster. This one
No,
we
the
just was,
first one we had barbecue. I had barbecue at both of them.
yes.
I mean, lobster at both of them. I had lobster at both of them. On
Yeah,
the second one, it was at Bora Bora.
Right.
Did the same thing. They had the Bora Bora, the big,
that was
you know,
a
where
big,
everything
big,
is. And then they went to this little island that was, you know, just off into the lagoon there and did an evening one.
and they had the
Fire dancers and oh man, it
Yes.
was that one was really
They had
really
4
good.
roasted pigs,
They-
and I mean they had the whole out there. Plus they had like lobster, like you said, a lot of seafood,
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of really good,
yeah.
good, well prepared.
The food was good anyway, so
and they had all the drinks and everything
Yeah, prepared.
on the islands. You know, they take everything from the ship, bring it to the island, set it all up.
and
I
make
mean,
it
it's quite a
Yeah.
production. I can't imagine the amount of effort that went into it,
right.
but it was impressive.
Yes.
So,
And our excursions. What'd you think of some of our excursions?
well, the islands themselves and
Yeah.
the overall presentation of French Polynesia, absolutely amazing. The different colors of green and blue in that
The
water make
Oh,
the Caribbean look silly. I mean, I think the Caribbean is absolutely wonderful, but Tahiti, I mean, it just
yeah,
it elevated.
it was.
It
And you
was
saw the
amazing
sea
stuff.
turtles, the stingrays, right
Yeah.
there on the beach, and the blacktail sharks. I think it
Yeah.
was. We
Black tip.
didn't blacktip. We did not do any snorkeling, but there was many of our group did, and the pictures that they brought back of the fish that they saw were very colorful.
Oh yeah, we got
They were
in.
beautiful.
I forgot what island it was. It was one of the first stops where they put you on a little tender boat and tender tight boat, take you out to a shallow area, and said, "Get in." And
Out of the water.
the stingrays and the black tip sharks would come, and they did. And they were swimming. I mean, just like you were standing in an aquarium. They were all around. The guides that were with us would even hold them up and
Yeah.
you know let you touch them and stuff. And so those that were brave and secure did that, and then there was others who said, "I don't want nothing to do with it. I'll watch from up here." And actually, the people that had the best pictures were the ones that were taking pictures from the boat because you
I
could
did.
see them better from
Right.
the boat.
Yeah.
When you were in the water,
You were with them.
unless you had you know like a GoPro in a
Water,
waterproof underwater type thing, even those pictures didn't come out because the water was so clear. You could see from the boat into the water down to the very bottom.
Yeah.
And you could see everything. It
Yeah.
was really crystal clear. Being in the water, you're too close to it, so you kind of miss some stuff. But yeah, I got in there. I had them swimming around. I had they were right there.
It was fun.
And then at the first barbecue, the lunch barbecue, there
Yeah.
was one that was swimming, a stingray swimming, and I said, "Come here, Andy."
So I did get to touch
So
them.
we got her close enough.
They were right up there by you, swimming around your legs.
So if you've never swam with a stingray,
Yeah.
they may feel a little different than what you think. They're
Yeah.
not hard rubbery, like some people may think. So I would say it's worth doing it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was an experience.
I won't go out of my way to do it again, but
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't turn down the opportunity.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. We did a couple of tours that give us some culture and
Yes.
history. And do you remember anything about the tiki?
Yeah, the spiritual, the
Yeah, you know how
sacrifices.
their culture is kind of like the Indian culture a little bit, where they believe that when someone dies, their spirit goes up, and these tikis capture. When they put the bones in there. We got the whole story. We'll let you go there and get that story
Experience
direct from them.
that one.
But it was interesting
Yeah.
to kind of hear different perspectives. The whole area was captured by British and French, and then it was taken over by the French because the British, they were looking for gold, silver, precious metals. There's no precious metals there, so they kind of let the French take it all over. So most of it was the French, but the missionaries came, and that's part of that history as well.
Yeah.
What did you think of the islands? What do you think of the water? What do you think of the trip?
Very
in general?
colorful. I mean, the flowers. I mean, the beautiful flowers. And every island you got on, you get a little flower, and it's like it smells like gardenia, and but they have, yes, and they have I mean, so many colors. And we went to botanical garden. We went to other one where they gave us fresh fruit that they had picked. They have bananas, the little bananas, and if you ever try it, the little bananas and put pineapple, eat it at the same time. That was good. It just is a different experience. It was
so like all the islands had these botanical gardens.
Yes.
And they were just like most of the island is either sand, beach, met up right up against a full forest.
Right, because the mountain in the middle is just rainforest or whatever you want to call it.
Palm trees and
heavy,
big tree, mango type trees, and it was full forest, but not the forest that you would see in like Pennsylvania, with pine trees and that kind of stuff. It was good.
The people were very nice. Most of them speak English. We went to a couple of museums. One of them was a writer, John Hall. Yeah. Bounty.
Mutiny on the Bounty.
Yeah. And
co-writer.
Yeah. And so
he was a pretty amazing guy. He was a Air Force, 3 different armies, 3 different awards in each army. World War One, and then he kind of settled in Bora Bora, kind of made Bora Bora famous with the Mutiny on the Bounty, and then turned that into a movie a couple different times. That movie came out. 39, 61, and I forget, the last one was like in 84. But I would give it a good thumbs up. You're on a good trip when people come back after the day and they're that little giddy, excited. Can't wait to tell you what they did for the day. And there was a lot of that going on.
Yes.
A lot of that going on. Very small ship. It only has 360 people, I think.
Yeah.
And so it was easy to keep running into the same people. We ran into some Australian residents and British residents, and they were hanging out. We started hanging out, and then there was some people from Dallas that came out.
Yeah. And we were invited to eat dinner with the captain. That was a highlight.
He's from Italy.
Yes. But where's he going to retire? He retires after this course.
He's from Italy.
Yes.
He lives in South Africa.
Yeah. But anyway, it was us and another couple. The couple that we met from Australia, believe it or not, happened to be our dinner mates, and we just met them the night before, and it was a surprise. But it was a very pleasant meal. He was very chatty, and it was a good night. And
I think he's on his last commitment.
He's been 38 years. He's been with Silver Seas.
And he's going to retire and be a dog breeder.
Yep.
He was very, very approachable and he's
easy to
talk about anything.
Yeah.
But we get this invite and we think, the dining room's
full of people.
It's the captain's dinner. It's no big deal. Yeah, we're going to be there. Sure. Because we got a phone call asking, we just want to confirm that you're going to be there. Yeah, we're going to be there. Sure. Didn't really think a whole lot about it. And then we show up there and it's a table for 6.
Yeah.
And there's 5 of us sitting room, the
Yeah.
other couple and us and the captain. So that was our first experience with a true dining with the captain. I know in a while back they used to do it all the time in this 80s and 90s, but this time it was pretty special. So yeah.
So we were a little preoccupied with excursions and downtime and that we didn't really post any pictures. So we promised that this weekend we'll take a little time and put some days out there, not overwhelming, but and share some of our pictures with you.
Yeah, every day was a port. Every day was an activity. Every day
Yeah,
we had
and
some
it was-
night activities and some day activities. I mean,
Yeah.
we did overnight in a couple places.
Yeah. So
so
I mean, it was nice, but normally we post some, but we really didn't. And we'll get it together and we'll share those pictures with you. So gosh, we just talked quite a bit
Yeah.
here. Well, it's
so
a great place.
If you want another warm destination, Tahiti is definitely warm, humid destination. January is a great time to go there. The crowds weren't that bad. I mean, we never really got in any kind of waiting for anything.
But we were blessed. They had said 2 weeks before that they had a bit of rain, and we didn't have much rain at all. We had 2 little days.
We had a couple showers in the afternoon, but
one
they
in
didn't
the beginning
last,
and end, and they did not last. So and it didn't put a damper on anything. So
blue skies, blue waters.
It was pretty
beautiful.
Yeah.
So we will get some pictures
Yes.
out there. We'll put some video together.
Yeah.
And that tells the story better than we can anyway.
It does.
But as always, we've got up in the top corner there, subscribe to our YouTube. That's where the videos will go. We'll see if we can get them on Facebook, Instagram. But most of the full videos will be on YouTube. The shorts will be on both, and then the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
For the most part. So, and I got 1,780 pictures on my phone, and I didn't take as many as she did. So,
but are those?
So we have to sort through them because you take 5 pictures to make sure you got one good.
Right.
So we have to sort through them.
Always fun.
Yeah, it was great. The thing that I remember the most is the lightheartedness of the area.
Yes.
And the friendliness of the people. They really were excited that we were there and that they got to show us their island through their eyes.
Yeah.
It was really nice. It was really nice.
Very nice.
Anything else? I know we kind of went a little long today.
Yeah. We'll give you some helpful hints next time.
Helpful hints. Go to Tahiti.
Go to Tahiti. Yeah. Right.
It was a great cruise. And I think I would highly recommend, if it fits, to do it on Silver Seas, do it on Paul Gauguin, on a small ship.
Yes.
Because they can get into some of those areas, into the lagoon areas, and get up close.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas the bigger ships, well, one, they don't go there. The other one is Windstar. They do a lot,
and they're very
in
good.
that area.
Yeah.
All 3 of those would be excellent. We like Silver Sea because we're familiar with them a little more.
Right.
But I think I would take the extra expense on and experience it that way.
I would, because you're never gonna go. You never say that. There's been people there that went back.
Oh yeah,
they've been there before.
That's one of the destinations because of the difficult getting there.
Yeah,
that a lot of people, go and see it and try to not have to go back.
Right.
But then they fall in love with it,
and they go back.
They go back. So,
yeah.
But anyway.
All right.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Till the next time.
Travel well.
Travel often.
Travel with ABC.
Take care, guys.